beautiful. Grand Rising, everybody. We are on our way to the airport to catch a private jet to Europe. Just joking. It will be a commercial jet one day. Although I've heard from people that take private jets, there's no point doing a private jet from Australia to Europe. It's too long. A little trip through Europe, like a little hour or two, it's very good to do a private jet. You skip the lines at the airport, there's a whole lot of benefits, and it's not too much more expensive. Relatively, if you're going with a few people, it works out. Cross-country, international world trips, just go commercial. All that to be said, we're going to Europe, lads. We're going to Italy and Germany. First have to stop off in Bulgaria. The journey begins. I have a lot of food. Probably too much food before my flight. My oranges, I've got cheese, I've got raw eggs, which they allow you to take onto the plane. So won't lose all of it, the liquids, the milk. I've got some fresh celery juice that I made. That's gonna have to be consumed before we get on the plane in a couple hours. So, welcome to a new vlog. Hope you've been enjoying the vlogs recently. I've been enjoying making them. Much love. Let's go to Europe. All right, we are in the airport. Check out this. What you just saw me was the fresh sugar cane, cold pressed. It's exquisite. If you haven't had sugar cane before, it's obviously what they make sugar from, but when it's fresh like that in the juice form, way better than just sugar. And obviously you've had one big flight already. You want to stay on top of hydration, minerals and everything. It's just going to make the travel process better. We need fresh juice machines like that everywhere. Right, final flight next, just 1 hour over to Bulgaria. We are in Istanbul, Turkey right now. I want to show you guys what it's like behind the glasses, behind the Brah Optics blue light blockers, because it's a completely different world when you're in environments like this. So check this out. This design is the one that I created, sole frame, which is the coolest by far you can get. And if you're in urban environments around artificial lighting, just traveling in airports, just a game changer for how you feel, how less frazzled you are day to day. If you're looking at a computer all the time, or in the evenings, get some blue light blockers. rahoptics.com/sol, S-O-L. It's about 6 a.m. Slept a decent amount on flight. Cheeky little espresso, a double. I've dropped down my caffeine to a double. Pretty solid, pretty yummy. If you have coffee that doesn't really agree with you as much, try getting a freeze-dried organic coffee, mixing with lots of milk rather than a hot coffee. Because when you have an extra hot coffee plus the beans already roasted, you're kind of getting a double effect of the burning and the roasting. So it can excite a little more of the stress chemicals that some people don't do well with, compared to a freeze-dried that you just mix with milk. You're not mixing it with hot water and then shake that up. I find I've actually been enjoying that more these days. It tastes pretty yummy, and obviously you can just do it at home. You don't need a proper espresso machine. So a little coffee tip, but this is what we're doing today in Istanbul. Made it. And my bag made it. Should have my milk inside. Hopefully that's there. We'll check that in a bit. There we go, there's the flag. Bulgaria. And now the moment of truth. I'm gonna find out if my bottle of raw milk made it from Australia all the way to Bulgaria. Where'd I put it? Yeah, there we go, baby. Worth it. And now we have delicious raw milk to fuel us for the day of walking. Got my miswak here, brushing my teeth. Linen shirt, sole shorts on, of course. And then we've got the wide footwear, barefoot sneakers. I'll chuck the link down in the description best shoes you can get out there and super stylish. Yeah, we're gonna go walk around. And there's also some natural hot mineral baths, which are pretty much on the beach. So super excited to go check that out. Feeling good though. I've probably slammed 24 raw eggs, manchego cheese, 8 oranges over my flights, which were 11 hours, 8 hours, and 1 hour. I feel good. I feel like a lot of jet lag that people experience is just a lack of nutrients. They're eating airport food. There's a lot of EMF, but you know, I wear my EMF blocking stuff, glasses and clothes, and then I also pack high nutrient dense foods to go with me, and travel doesn't seem as bad, doesn't feel as bad. So let's go. Cool statue. We found a few little snacks, so I'll show you what I got. We got that 100% cacao, some bee pollen, coconut oil, that's more for the external moisturizing. You can eat it for some super good fats, but I prefer, if I'm eating coconut, creamed coconut. So this is the coconut oil, obviously, because it's contained in the flesh, and the flesh blended up. And this one's raw as well, so this is what I'm snacking on before I walk around. Look at these beautiful jewels. This is a really good mineral supplement, bee pollen. So that's what I usually like to do. A new city, walk around for a few hours, find a juice. I got an apple juice, an orange juice, and a big liter of watermelon juice. Because we go into the hot springs, gonna be sweating a bunch. We want to revitalize with nutrients and electrolytes, which watermelon is great for. I'm gonna finish off this apple. Apple is very high in boron. If you want to get more boron in your diet, have apple juice fresh, or eat apples, even better. So let's hit the hot springs. So here looks like a memorial for astronauts, cosmonauts. But look at this guy, jacked. Big old stones for quads. I wonder what he's representing. Beautiful flowers. They got me thinking, look, there's this little boy looking up at the statue there. And it's so important to have these public monuments that represent what we should be aspiring towards, like huge grandeur. It's obviously very masculine, you know, the ancients, of course, the ancient Greek statues in Rome and everywhere like that where they have representations of that. We're not building them anymore. Why is that? Our culture does not deify these things as they should anymore, and that's not good. We've got like these fat, awkward looking idiots being put up as sculptures, which doesn't inspire anyone. It actually makes people worse off, and that's what they're designed to do. They're designed to bring people's spirits down rather than things like this, which are aspirational. So in whatever way that we can, we need to do that more in our world, in our community. We should have the beach somewhere down here. She's down here. Oh yeah. Look how flat that is. So you can see the pools here. If there's one thing that I could recommend to people to do for their health, it's to get in a warm bath, hot bath, really as hot as you can handle, with high quality natural water. I understand that's a bit of an ask for most people if we're in a tap water city. However, put in the effort. There are ways you can do a bath at home with tap water and neutralize the chlorine with adding apple cider vinegar and a little bit of milk as well. However, natural mineral baths like this, there's nothing better for your health. All of the older people there, yeah, they're a little fat and they're obviously drinking and smoking, but there's a resonance energy within them where they're tanned and they're healthy looking, they're vibrant. And I know that a lot of that is because, well, they're relaxed and they're getting these minerals and they're heating up their whole body, so they're flushing everything and moving blood around. It's so impactful. And we really need to bring back into the culture, everyone go to the bathhouse, and that's a daily socializing thing. Who wants to go to the club? Go to a nightclub full of toxic, bloody blue light and smoke and breathe that in, like the smoke machines. That's seed oils, basically. And you're breathing that in and paying $40 for a drink with idiots and fools. People fighting. No, I will do this. Set up a social bathhouse with a natural hot spring where everyone can just have ambiance and heal while they hang out and get minerals and everything else. And it's absolutely wonderful. I'm gonna do a dip in the ocean to contrast and then head back in. What's up now? I'm gonna head home, clean up, maybe get some meat, and then meet up with my jeweler. May or may not be picking up a new chain, new piece. He's a really cool guy. So hopefully you can see him, see what he's all about. He's a magic jeweler. So here's some actual Roman ruins, some ancient baths. Look how huge this place is. This was all baths. This is what I mean with bath culture. They had underground natural hot springs and these huge complexes. All in, they would just hang out and bath together. So cool. All right, back home. After the flight, my hair was a little dry, but see how nice and soft and voluminous it is now? So that's the sulfur from the hot springs. So good for your hair. Super soft. Skin feels great. Sulfur for your hair, skin, and nails. Money. Check out the view. Oh yeah. Okay, are you guys ready for something really cool? Found this by chance, of course, but I really needed a drink. I was very thirsty. So I just looked up water, and apparently there's this really cool spring water fountain for drinking water. So we found it here. So yeah, that's the coolest spring I've ever seen. Water tastes obviously quite minerally, very mineral rich, quite heavy. A little bit of sulfur taste as well, which is interesting, but of course I'm gonna have the dragon blessed water. Look at all the good dairy. All right, went to the dairy store, got some of the best looking milk they had. So we got 2 things of cow's milk, cow kefir, and then this is a block of sheep's cheese. Got 2 of these, and it's all raw. So that is elite right here. 1,300 calories in there. That is solid. Let's try out this milk. Oh yeah, okay, so you see that big cream glump that came out? That means it's unhomogenized, which is what you want.
Grand Rising, we have literally just woken up, but check out this view.
Yes. That's better. Grand Rising, Apollo, indeed. Just enjoying some sun before we go inside, finishing off my milk. About to take a flight to Italy via Germany, but just in the airport it's in Germany. And then Italy, I'm going to soak in the ocean, the islands that the Spartans once roamed. Well, Spartans? Romans? Romans. The Romans once roamed. Probably the Spartans as well, actually, thinking about it. All of those islands in there, Turkey, Italy, they were everywhere. Exciting stuff. Probably gonna get some work done in the airport. And yeah, go from there. We've just arrived in Palermo, and this is actually, if you can see the cliffs and mountains around us, we are at the very end of the boot of Italy, on the top edge. The Mount Pellegrino is here. If you've ever had San Pellegrino water, that's where it's from. So very pure springs, cliffs, oceans, and super excited to be here. Thus begins the Italian road trip. So we're in town, first grocery haul secured, but I wanted to have a word with whoever is creating the serving sizes. This is not a serving size. This is about 2 mouthfuls, and it's not enough. I'm gonna have it because it's a glass bottle of kefir, goat kefir anyway. But guys, it's about the size of my thumb. We need larger sizings of things. Maybe I'm just used to American stuff, but come on. I'll show you the full grocery haul once we're back at home. Balcony view. All right guys, showing you the grocery haul, starting from left to right. We've got hibiscus tea, if I can move that so you can see it. Chamomile tea, loose leaf. Little freeze-dried organic coffee. Honey is here. Managed to find non-riscaldato, probably saying that wrong, but that means unheated, and we know that's what we want when we want honey. You need to find an unheated honey so that all the nutrients and enzymes are preserved. Ground beef, sheep's yogurt, alpine butter, cacao, some other yogurt, cow's milk, coconut juice, olive oil, coconut water, some spring water in glass. It's really yummy, sparkling as well. Watermelon, lime and pineapple, which I'll probably do it in a nice little fun fruit salad. Grapes, this other raw Parmigiano of some kind. Mozzarella, I'm not sure if I said that, but these mozzarella balls are exquisite. Blueberries, tomatoes, and they found I had liver, which was awesome. Some salmon, smoked salmon, 2 days of food, not even, but super high micronutrients. We're not smashing a lot of carbs, rice and things like that. Gonna try and lean out a bit on this Euro summer walking around, but we still want all the nutrients. So this is the kind of spread that we're doing for the food. Grand Rising, everybody. We're having a little bee pollen, honey, blueberries and yogurt on this wonderful morning. Ahead of us is Mount Pellegrino, where the water is from. Hello folks, Grand Rising. Coming at you from Mondello Beach. Pretty exquisite backdrop of Mount Pellegrino and wonderfully clear water starting the day. All right, just back from the beach. This is gonna be our morning meal. We've got ourselves some delicious alpine raw butter, raw liver, raw ground beef, raw sheep's cheese feta, and some pineapple with olive oil on top. This is exquisite, primal, elite nutrition, digested phenomenally. is the Botanical Gardens here. And apparently, these trees, the Ficus majoris or something like that, some of the largest specimens of such a tree in all of Europe. See how big they are here. I mean, this is 10 meters across. Fantastic. Look at that. Ficus magnoloide. Banyan tree. From Australia. Let's go. All right. A serpent. Wow, nice echo in here. And who do I see over there? Looks like Poseidon, but he doesn't usually hold a snake. Maybe it's just a dude. Hey, look at this, the most extraordinary lily, enormous. And then look at the flower here. It's like a speaker. And it blossoms into this. Wow. That is magical. Here we are at the temple of Hera. Hera is queen of all the goddesses and is actually Zeus's wife. As you can see here, absolutely enormous. I'll show you more closer up. But one of the, I would say, lesser known archaeological sites, less busy, but all the more beautiful because of it. And this is a temple where they would have rituals and gatherings in order to honor the goddess Hera. Now this one has been restored partially. You can see the modern concrete, but it gives you a bit of an idea of what it would have looked like in its prime. Absolutely magnificent. Imagine a whole arena here of people. We've been exploring the ancient ruins, the temple of Hera, and now we are on our way to some thermal baths. So there's a lot of springs, there's a lot of volcanic activity on the island of Sicily, and we're going to Thermae something or other. I'll show you once we get there. We're gonna soak. We've got a lot of sun today, so we're gonna remineralize, hopefully get some more orange juice, even though I just had 3 before we got in the car. And yeah, soak it up and just top off the day with some beautiful mineralization in the hot springs. Looking forward to it. Really nice setting here. So we have a minor issue. We have the obligatory polyester swim cap that we must put on if we want to go into the hot baths, apparently. So, I'm going to try it on. This is the new style that the kiddos are wearing. We're now ready for the hot baths. I decided I'm gonna wear it like this. Yarmulke mode. Alright, couldn't really film inside, but phenomenal sulfur bath feeling, that exquisite feeling of getting a refreshing hot, cold, sweated everything out, feeling clean. Now, the last thing to do is to find some fish or other protein to be demolished in my belly, and then refuel for big day of driving tomorrow. But yeah, we need to recuperate now our electrolytes and our minerals and everything else, protein, and see what we can find for dinner. I'll take you along. Got ourselves a little tuna tartare here. Hello. English? So what are we eating for dinner? Just finished off tuna tartare, of course. Sticking with raw as much as possible. And then it's oyster Sunday. It's oyster Sunday. So, of course we have to have an oyster. This one goes out to everyone watching this vlog on YouTube. Appreciate your support always. One day I hope to share an oyster Sunday with you.